Are you struggling with an error in Android Studio that says, "Cannot set the value of read-only property output file"? You're not alone. This is a common issue that many developers face, especially when working with Gradle. Today, we will break it down and find a solution together. I totally get how frustrating it can be when you're trying to customize your APK file name and suddenly an error pops up. It can feel like you're hitting a brick wall. But don't worry, we're here to tackle this together. Here's the specific situation we're addressing. A user was trying to change the name of their APK file using a Gradle script, but encountered the error message about the read-only property. This can be confusing, especially when you're just trying to streamline your build process. So, what does this error mean? The output file property is read-only in newer versions of the Android Gradle plugin. This means you can't directly assign a new file to it like you might have done in the past. Understanding this is crucial for finding the right workaround. Stick around, because at the end of this video, I will share a simple workaround that will help you rename your APK files without running into this issue again. To resolve the issue with the read-only property, the user should first understand that the output file property is no longer directly settable in the newer versions of the Android Gradle plugin. Instead of setting the output file directly, the user can use the output file name property to customize the APK file name. This is the recommended approach in the latest versions. Next, the user should modify their existing code to implement this change. They will need to update the line where the output file is being set. After making these changes, the user should rebuild their project. This will allow the new APK file name to be applied correctly without any errors. Finally, the user can check the output directory to confirm that the APK file is named as intended. This will ensure that the solution has been successfully implemented. Fun fact: did you know that the first version of Android was released back in 2008? We've come a long way since then, but some issues still pop up to remind us of the early days. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests a different approach for renaming the APK file. They recommend using the application variants.all method and accessing variant.outputs.all. In their code, they create a new APK name by combining the application name, and version code, and then set the output file name to this new name. Let's move forward and look at another answer. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying your Gradle script. Instead of setting the output file directly, you can use the output file name property. This approach involves iterating over the application variants and outputs, then constructing the APK name using the flavor, build type, version, and date. That's all for that response. Let's see what someone else had to say. An alternative solution from another user highlights that with Gradle 3.0, the output file property is no longer accessible. Instead, they suggest using the command line to compile the project and then copy the output APK to a specified path. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. An alternative solution comes from a user who faced the same issue. They resolved it by changing the version of the Android plugin repository to 2.3.3 in the project structure window. After making this change, the error disappeared. Let's take a look at another answer from another user. An alternative solution provided by another user suggests modifying the output file name using the output file name property instead of output file. They recommend iterating through the application variants and accessing the outputs to set the new file name. Here's a pro tip. Always check the official Android documentation for updates on Gradle properties. This can save you a lot of time and headaches when working on your projects. And there you have it. You should now be able to rename your APK files without any issues. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button for more tips and tricks. And remember, troubleshooting is just part of the journey. keep coding.